Most people think habits are just routines, things we do on autopilot, like brushing our teeth or checking our phone. But what if habits were more than actions? What if they are actually shaping who we believe we are? Today, I want to explore one central idea. Your habits don't just change what you do, they shape who you become. This idea is at the core of James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, where he argues that small, consistent behaviors compound over time into massive personal change. Clear explains that habits are, and I quote, the compound interest of self-improvement, meaning tiny actions repeated daily quietly build your future self, for better or for worse. What stood out to me the most was his claim that identity is the real driver of behavior. According to Clear, lasting change doesn't come from setting goals. It comes from becoming the type of person who naturally lives those habits. For example, Clear describes two people offered a cigarette. One says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The other says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." The difference isn't motivation, it's identity. One person still sees himself as a smoker, and the other doesn't. What's interesting is that psychological research supports this idea. In a 2019 study by Verplanken and Su, published in Frontiers in Psychology, researchers found that habits closely tied to a person's sense of identity, what they called the true self, were more likely to stick. When people saw their habits as a reflection of who they were, not just something they were trying to do, they reported higher self-esteem and a stronger sense of purpose. In other words, habits don't just follow identity, they help build it. Another study conducted by Gardner and colleagues on binge drinking among university students revealed something even more telling. Identity predicted intention, but habit strength predicted actual behavior. Students who identified themselves as drinkers were more likely to continue binge drinking even when they wanted to stop. Those who stopped seeing themselves that way were far more successful in changing their behavior long term. This creates a powerful feedback loop. You act, the action reinforces the identity, and the identity reinforces future action. This explains why change feels so hard. You're not just fighting a habit, but you're challenging a version of yourself you've repeated for years. James Clear says every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. One vote doesn't define you, but thousands of small votes do. Research also shows that habits are often automatic and driven by environment, not motivation. Psychologist Wendy Wood explains that habits are responses to cues, time, location, or context, rather than conscious decision. This means identity change can lag behind behavior change if environments stay the same. That's why Clear emphasizes systems over goals. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. This is actually good news. It means you don't need massive motivation or dramatic change. You need small, consistent actions that align with the person you want to be. You don't need to read 100 books to become a reader. You need to read one page and repeat it. So, the real question isn't, what habit do I want to build? It's, who do I want to become, and what habits would that person repeat? Because in the end, you don't rise to your potential in one defining moment. You quietly become who you are, one habit at a time. Thanks for listening.